But you're not afraid of snakes.
No, not too much.
But a spider will spook the crap out of you.
Damn right.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cast&Blast podcast. I'm your host, Pinche. This is my co-host, Jimmy Trent.
That's me, man.
You guys know us as PB&J, Pinche Ben and Jimmy.
It's sticking.
I like it, man. It was a phrase that was thrown at us, and we didn't know what it meant, but...
Hey, it's about thick as PB, huh?
So, hey, man, it's dove season, guys. Dove season is upon us, and it's kind of like the opening gate to the rest of the season, isn't it, Jimmy?
Yeah, what'd you say? It's like the New Year's of hunting season. Kind of the first thing that opens at dove and teal.
Absolutely, and right behind that, whitetail.
And that's my jam.
There you go, man. And we had a good time this weekend, man. We got shout out to Angel back here doing our production. Angel's going to be running the cameras for us, and maybe he'll join us on some conversation too. But check it out, man. We opened up dove season in South Texas this weekend. South Zone was a special white wing zone. Of course, here in the Central Zone, it was open season, but we hadn't had many birds.
I was going to say it was no wing dove here.
Yeah, exactly. So we decided to travel down to South Texas and join Billy Kane on his ranch at Los Cincos in San Diego, Texas, man. And we had a blast, didn't we, Angel?
Yes, we did.
Man, we saw a lot of birds flying. We had a great time because one of the things I love about dove hunting is it's very much a social event. You can get out there with a group of people, crowd some chairs around, have some cold ones, shoot some birds, and shoot some shit, you know?
Yeah, just kind of gather around, like you said. I think it's good to introduce people into dove hunting too that haven't hunted before, because it's not a sit down, be quiet. You can kind of move around, you can conversate, you can, have that social experience like you talked about, and then you can slowly introduce them into other styles.
Speaking of introducing, I introduced my daughter to hunting for the first time this weekend. She came back and said she had the best weekend of her life. Proud dad moment there.
Dude, yeah, that had to hit.
Yeah, so anytime you have a 17-year-old or a teenager telling you she's had the best weekend of her life, that kind of means you did something special.
Yeah, you're like, all right,
yeah.
I'm winning.
Man, so it was her first time hunting. We got her her license, waived her hunter's ed because she was out with me, and of course I have my hunter's ed and whatnot, and she was out with a bunch of other hunters. It was more of a timing thing. I do want to enroll her into that. Maybe I can enroll her in that one you got tying in.
Yeah, they got 2 seats left, so I enrolled him this morning.
Man, I think she would like that.
Well, they got 2 seats left.
All right, cool. They're at Sendero?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll get her into that hunter's ed. So, yeah, if you have someone that you know that could take the hunter's ed, man, I highly recommend it because I feel like you can learn a lot, especially a new hunter.
Yeah.
And it's definitely cheaper than the ticket getting caught without hunting with a license.
Yeah, man, it's $15. $15, and
for
then
the course.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man, yeah, I'm signing her up.
Get her in there
yet, but
yeah. My son's going, man, and I'm excited. I texted him this morning and said, "Hey, hunter's ed class going on tomorrow."
How long is the course?
10 to 4.
10 to 4? Yeah, man. And it's Saturday?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Is it? Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So we're going to get her in that. Yeah, but, man, we had a blast. Not only did she it was her first time hunting. She shot her first white wing, and I got it all on tape.
That's cool, man.
On video. Tape, I'm aging myself there. But we got it on video. Maybe we'll share a little bit of that B-roll with you guys so you can see and share that experience with us. All right, Gabby, what do you got there?
Daddy!
That's your first one. Nice. White wing, baby. Hold it up. Let's go.
So I didn't make it down there with you guys. I stayed back trying to get some of the stuff ready for our whitetail season. But you were sending those pictures. You were sending pictures and videos. And there's a difference between someone that's got a fake smile, smiling for a picture, or something that's authentic.
Yeah.
And you can tell that the pictures you was taking of her, like she was having a good time, the authentic smiles, she was in it to win it.
And man, how quick she took to it, huh, Angel? She was out there just one of the guys, man, having fun. She got on a 4-wheeler, got lost on an 1,100-acre ranch, and Of course, she wasn't going to ever admit to it and call and say, I need help. She found her way back.
Hey, best weekend of her life, man.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
She went and climbed a couple of blinds and went and took a vantage point of the senderos out there and stuff. And she was just like, that's cool. She got back in the four-wheeler and got back to camp.
So for someone, you know, it was her first time dove hunting, what are some of the things that you would tell someone you're just getting into hunting, and if you want to get into dove hunting, what are some of the things that you would say that, hey, these are your go-tos, your standard issue type, bring these with you?
So the first thing to add to your question, I would say if it's not your first time dove hunting, I urge you to take somebody for the first time. So if you're going to go dove hunting, you know, invite somebody out that hasn't been, man, because it's kind of a game changer. Dove hunting, like I said, is a social event. It's the one type of hunting where you can bring friends, you can be loud. You don't necessarily have to camo up. You know, you can wear street clothes, we'll call it, and go out there and have, you know, just as much fun. It is a hunting where it benefits you to be a little still, you know, and try to stay calm. It's a little hard to do when you see those birds flying and that cubby comes through and you see them and you're like, here they come, you know. So everybody kind of stands still, waits as they get within range. Now it's let's go, you know. So, but I would say, you know, for a new dove hunter, definitely follow the regulations and get your license that are required, whether it's in Texas or whatever state you're in. Follow the regulations, know your season, know your time frame, know the legal light. You know, here it's 30 minutes before sunrise to sunset. For white wing special.
Is it to sunset or 30 minutes after sunset shooting light?
I just read in an article that it was to sunset. That was based off of Texas Parks and Wildlife. So that's here, you know. I had always read in the annual permit where you get your regulations, it was 30 minutes before first light and 30 minutes after.
Yeah.
But
official sunset.
Official sunset. So I would say, again, check your regulations, make sure you're within your legal time frame, and then make sure if, for instance, down there it was starting at noon. You know, it was a special white wing day. They were offering that up. So the next thing is go with a hunter. If you're new to it, go with a hunter. Of course, you know, there's other endorsements with dove hunting that you have to have, the migratory endorsement, you know, or HIP here, we call it, you know, the HIP endorsement, or I believe that's it. Unless you're on public land, you got to have a public permit or whatever. So again, fall within your regulations, know the limit, and know what species you're hunting, right?
We'll talk about limits here in a minute when I guess we talk gear, right? So what is some of the gear that you would advise, you know, for a more pleasant hunting experience?
So that's the one cool thing about dove hunting is I call it, there's two types of hunters, right? I say that. You got the hunter who's prepared months in advance, geared up, a gear junkie. I'm a gear geek.
Yeah.
Or there's the other ones that just wait till the last minute and go buy a box of shells the night before.
That's me. I'm the minimalist.
Yeah. Minimalist.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're just going to take what you need. Right. I'm a gear geek, man. I like to, kind of do a little research in what's working for others or whatever. And along the way, I found that decoys work.
Yeah.
Right. I got some decoys here on the desk. You know, these are flickers made by Mojo. So these guys, I got to check the balance on that thing, right?
Yeah.
But so
these track and balance on it.
These decoys actually, that's going to be loud. So these decoys actually sit in the field and they mimic dove feeding.
Yeah.
You know, so what this will do is, and they're just random. But what these will do is when the dove are flying high, it actually brings them in lower. So that's a good tool to increase your success, right?
So you want to bring them in lower, one, to make them a larger target, but two, what is your normal range, you know, that you're looking at?
What you gotta know your shotgun, right? Mm-hmm. So you're gonna take your shotgun and you're gonna find your range and your shot group of your shot, right?
Right.
So you want to go out there and you want to try to find a paper target that's big enough to get a good group of your shot group. And of course, the BBs are coming out of the barrel and it's coming out in a certain pattern or whatever.
Yeah, and they're gonna
spread and depending on how far your group is on that target, that's going to be your range. You know what I mean? And that's going to be you to know, okay, my spread is this far at this distance, and that'll give you an idea of, you know, how you're going to aim, how you're going to swing your rifle, and all that stuff. So there's a lot involved with, you know, taking aim to a dove.
So there's
small bird.
Yeah, small bird. Same thing to be said with turkey hunting. I don't do a lot of dove hunting, but turkey hunting, you're normally using a shotgun as well. So same thing, you're going to pattern whatever load that you're shooting, you know, so you want to get out there and see, and certain animals will shoot different distances. So what do you normally shooting on dove, 30, 40 yards?
So me, I'm in the 30 yards, and I tried to teach my daughter that this weekend, you know, this past weekend was like, hey, that's about 30 yards right there. So that landmark, you know, it should be your range. So
wait for the bird to get there.
Wait for the bird to get closer. If it's outside of that, I'm not saying you can't knock it down. You know, 30 to 40 yards is well within your shot range for a shotgun for dove hunting with the shot. We call it dove shot, right? Anything between, I'll say 6 shot. That's a little heavier, but 7.5, 8. You know, that's 8 shot. There's dove load. There's all kinds of different, you know, the way they're packaged and boxed and marketed. But your typical wing or clay load would work for dove season, and that's about 7.5 or 8 shot. So what I would say is find with wind and all that stuff is find a good velocity in that shell. You know what I mean? Try to get the most velocity. We call it bang for your buck, right? Get the most velocity you can get with the shells, and just kind of you can take a look at the side of a box of shells, and it'll tell you all that. And then of course, you know, make sure you carry one type of shell. You know, like so you're not loading 20 gauge in a 12 gauge shotgun.
Yeah, be smart.
Be smart, because it's easy to do. You know, thank God, typically they're colored differently. You know, I know from my experience, I think 20 is usually a yellow shot, yellow case, you know, and your 12 gauge can be, you know, red, green, black, orange, you know, depending on what, you know, blue, those are real bright blue, and that's cool. But I would say, you know, on top of the flickers, this is made by Mojo. The other decoy they use that's really good, they have 2. They got a battery-operated Mojo, and that's something you can stick in the ground, and it has like a little tree that you can mount the decoy that has 2 wings that are battery-operated, and those are just constantly flipping. And as you can see here, this one flips from white to brown, and that just gives it that flicker. Well, that wing on that dove decoy will do the same thing and just do them. So what that does is as they're flying from far away, it gets their attention. Oh, there's something down there. It's safe to be down there, and they'll kind of get them.
Let's go see what kind of food's down there.
So those really work to bring them from far to your range,
and then these will work to
bring them in. And man, they come land right on top of these, man. So it's pretty exciting to use the decoys.
So we got guns, ammo, decoys.
Don't necessarily need a call dove.
But it may not hurt.
It may not hurt. So I mean, you can use a call if you want. Try to bring them in, but that's not a real typical practice. But I don't know. Maybe it is for some people that it's working. If it works for you, man, go for it.
Dove are dispersed over the majority of the states, right?
Sure.
So I'm sure it's different.
Migratory birds.
Yeah, migratory birds. But you know, hunting may be different in Kansas than it is here.
I would imagine so, and I would say that gear is kind of like the same, right? So that's one thing about dove hunting is that hunters all around the nation, right, we'll say, they all kind of typically flock towards the same gear, and that's going to be decoys. That's going to be a vest to kind of throw your birds in or whatever. Here in South Texas or here in Texas, it's so dang hot. We're not trying to throw our birds in a bag all the time, you know, especially those. I mean, they're gorgeous. You know, you get a leather pouch and you have that and all that stuff. But to throw some birds in there and kind of over a, you know, if you can go out there and limit in 10 minutes, yeah, great. But
this is the second weekend of dove season here in Texas, right?
It's been in 103 triple digits.
Yeah, and this weekend it's going to be 105, 106 degrees. So
good luck steaming those birds in a hot pouch.
You can just pull them out and eat them as you're.
Yeah, might as well. They're smoking in that bag.
Yeah.
And that's why we use the dove cord. This is one of the gears that, this is some of the gear that we're talking about is in lieu of tossing them in your vest or tossing them in a bag, you can tether them by sticking the neck through one of these ends here, and you can tether 15 dove to this tether here. This is the original dove cord made by Chris Ramsey in Portland, Texas.
So there's a reason that you can put 15 on there.
Yeah, 15 is your legal limit here. In the aggregate, right? You can have the different types or whatever, but 15 is your legal limit per day. Like that's your limit. So once you fill this cord up,
you're done.
You're done. So I like it because it keeps them outside of the hot bag.
Yep.
You can tether them anywhere. Tether them to a tree, to yourself, fence post, hay bale,
tree limb,
anything. And then, of course, what's cool about it is here in South Texas, if you just toss something on the ground, man, the fire ants are just you ain't gonna have a dove when you go back to it. So you can have these secure and not kind of away from the fire ants. And
they make some pretty badass pictures too.
And there's kind of a bragging right of holding up a full dove cord and saying, hey, I limited out or whatever. And these are really cool. That's why, we sell these and promote these. They're just a product that we stand by and use. But this particular one actually the dove cord comes with a choke tube tool. So you can change your choke tubes out. A lot of guys know that there's some brands and manufacturers make a choke tube specific towards turkey hunting, dove hunting, duck hunting, all that stuff. So you can change your choke tubes out. Or if you just want to go from like a modified to an improved modified or whatever, you can change your choke tubes out using this tool. So on top of that, I think, of course, you need your shotgun, and with the shotgun comes the plug to limit you to 3 shells.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that is make sure that plug's in there.
Got to get that plug in there because if the game warden comes out there and checks your shotgun and you don't have a plug in there, there's a fine associated with that as well. So you want to stay within your legal limits, but it's all about like finding the regulations, staying within that regulations, and then just going and having fun, man.
Yeah, a lot of people get too caught up and wrapped up into the regulation, and maybe deters them from hunting. They're like, oh man, it's just not worth it. It's too much stuff. Once you make that part of your regime, as far as knowing the regulation, adhering to it, it's so much fun. So don't be intimidated by it. Just know, like you said, know what it is, adhere to it, and go have a great time.
So on top of that, if you're gonna hang out, why not get a comfortable seat? You know what I mean? They make these dove hunting chairs that got a little pouch under them that you can store things in. You can throw your dove in there. You can do whatever you want. If you're not using a dove cord, I highly recommend you do. I would like to see one of these in every registered hunter's hands in Texas just to help my buddy Chris out. Made by hand in Portland, Texas. This guy's actually.
If somebody wants one, where can they find it?
You can go to our website and get these directly from our website at Cast&Blast Outfitters. You'll actually get a custom choke tube that has Cast&Blast Outfitters logo along with the dove cord.
Oh yeah.
So you got the chair, you got the dove cord, you got your decoys. What's next, right? Maybe some camo. And speaking of camo, you got some good looking camo on right now.
This really is good looking camo, especially in this area. So
what are you wearing? It's like at the red carpet. What are you wearing?
Yeah, what are you wearing? So this is from High Heat Outdoors, Puto Mesquite, and it's really well thought out camo with some great colors in it. And this is, I think, version 1, or I'm not sure what Delvis calls it.
No, that's the 78538. So that's the zip code in the area where he originated that idea.
So I know the first time when I first met Delvis, he's like, here, try my camo. And I'm like, all right, man, it's another camo, whatever.
Sure. As you do with any camo, right?
As you do with any camo. And then I took the camo out and I tried it. And I was like, man, this shit works.
Yeah.
Stuff works good. And
why does it work? Like for you?
For me, one, the material, it's super breathable. It's hot down here most of the time, or a lot of the time. Moisture wicking. And then you had it on as well, and that's what really sold me. Is I was looking and I took a picture of
fat guy's wearing it. I can wear it.
Well,
hey, there's a fat guy in Texas wearing this. It's got to be good.
I was looking at the landscape that we're on, and we're in a weird landscape where it's kind of like North Texas,
it's
meet South Texas. So we have a lot of the greens. We got some of the oaks. We got the mesquites. We got a lot of hardwoods, right? And everything kind of meets in the middle right here. So I wasn't sold that this camo would be that great until we got it out there and I seen it, and I was like, dude, it works. The human outline breakup, the blending,
the colors,
the comfort. The comfort is what really helped. Yeah. And I was like, all right, man, I'm sold.
Yeah, and I just think
I'm a hard sell on camo.
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
Is it because of brand loyalty?
No, it's because of faddish, if you will.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. And let's be real, man. Camo it's a preference.
It is.
It really is, because you got your guys that wear the like mossy oak. We'll throw names out there: mossy oak, real tree. Sitka has their own camo patterns. You got the cryptic camo now that's real popular. But aren't they all just kind of faddish? I mean, they really kind of have a novelty behind them.
I think they all have their place.
Yeah.
They do all have their place, and they all have their different science behind of whatever pattern that they used, which is cool. And what works for one may not work for all. But for us, where we are, this pattern works really well, and these colors work really well.
So that is driven based off of the artistic perspective of Delvis Cortez from High Heat Outdoors. Puro Mesquite is where you can find this camo. You go to www.puromesquite.com. Go check out this gear. There's a different variety. There's different colors. There's different shades. This
isn't the only camo he has.
Yeah, there's different cuts. There's button-ups. There's
long sleeve, short sleeve.
There's some fun art too. There's not just all just camo patterns. Some of them are what we call kind of like novelty. There's different uses. There's a kind of camo that you can wear out in the field and go straight to like the barbecue because you're looking sharp,
or straight to the wife says, hey, we're going to meet for dinner. All right, well, I'm going to leave the dove field and I'm going to show up to dinner with you and still look good.
And then there's of course the practical use of the camo that he has, some of his moisture wicking shirts and the long sleeves and different things like that. And so
camo is a necessity. For dove hunting, maybe not a necessity, but
I would say at least the material of the shirt.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. That shirt you're wearing right there is one of the most coolest cotton blend shirts I've worn out in the hot sun.
And they're not all cotton blend. I mean, some of his are, the moisture wicking, and those are what we wear a lot.
Yep. Yeah. So, and then he's got the face buffs to go with it when he starts getting, in the winter time, we like to cover up. Turkey hunting, you're going to want to cover up from head to toe.
Get the hat, the matching hat if you want.
So, shout out High Heat Outdoors for bringing us the gear, man. It's the official camo of Cast&Blast Outfitters.
That sounds good.
All right. So, man. So I think you guys should go check out some of this gear. I think you should, man. So we can get him to come up with some pants and stuff like that. But one of the things that I forgot, and Angel was just pointed out to me, man, I thank you for reminding me, is if you can wear, especially in Texas, man, with the mesquite and the cactus and everything, what about snakes?
Yeah, snakes are a real deal. I mean, there's 100 different snake boots out there and things like that you can wear.
Yeah, but I highly recommend right now with the heat and the way it is, the snakes are active. It's kind of be the first thing that they're going to tell you when you get out to like
safety brief at a
they're
at a
going to be like, hey,
something.
Be careful with the snakes.
Yep.
So for me, if I have snake boots, I'm wearing them, because be careful with snakes is not good enough for me. It's like, how can I prevent myself from dying? Or getting really sick.
They never mention spiders though. I'm scared of spiders. Snakes don't bother me. Spiders.
No, snake will bother you if it bites you, though.
Yeah, you're right. It will, but
but you're not afraid of snakes.
No, not too much.
But a spider will spook the crap out of you.
Damn right.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. But so I mean, I think that kind of covers a lot of the gear that I would say, like, those are your go-to things. If you're gonna go dove hunting, that's what you're gonna take. But hey, grab a few boxes of shells, head out to the field and go do it, man. I highly urge you, if you can access somebody's property, go out there. If you can access public land, go give it a shot.
So I've mentioned before, I'm not a huge dove hunter for personal reasons that, Well, there's a story behind that, but I'm not going to say, for time's sake.
Sure,
We'll leave that alone. But we were going to have a Cast and Blast dove hunting event this year. We had one planned, and we went through a lot of preparation to get this thing up and going, and we did. We had it ready to go.
Yeah, we did.
And
looking forward to it.
Yeah, we had 40 spots available, and they were all full. We booked it. We booked it out completely.
And it was not just a dove hunt; it was a full Cast and Blast event, meaning we were gonna hunt from first light to noon, from noon to 4. We were gonna cater to everyone.
Yeah, cater food. We had barbecue. We had desserts.
Have some music. We had everything set up, and then while we were taking a break from the morning to the evening hunt, we were gonna offer some fishing out on our ponds. Our stock ponds were full of bass, and we were going to get people on a good fishing, Cast and Blast event. That was the whole idea behind Cast and Blast, was to do them both.
And not only that, we had some awesome giveaways too, that were raffles and giveaways that we were going to do. But sadly, Mother Nature bit us in the ass.
Mother Nader
didn't send any naders.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mother Nature bit us in the ass, and now it left us kind of high and dry, just like the weather's been high and dry.
Bro, it's been a scorcher out there.
It impacted the birds, and we had to reach out to everybody that was booked and say, hey, we're sorry to report. Yeah, we're sorry to say this, but we've been doing some scouting, and we don't have the birds to support this hunt right now. So we just want to be upfront and honest with you.
Well, we had birds, but it wasn't going to be what we felt that the customer or the client was going to feel as that was.
They weren't going to get their money's worth, and they weren't going to get what they signed up for.
My question to you is, what do you do? What do you expect out of a outfitter that's putting you on a hunt, especially for dove? Like, what's your expectations?
Maybe for anything.
Yeah, when you're paying for a fishing charter, you're paying for a hunt. Are there expectations that you have? Because we all know that nobody can guarantee that you're going to catch fish. Mm-hmm. Nobody can guarantee that you're going to harvest an animal.
So you're paying for not only the hopes of that, but you're paying for an experience.
Right.
And that's our thought process while we went ahead and canceled it, because we could have still gave a good experience, but it probably isn't the one that they were expecting.
Yeah, and you're paying money to, travel to us, to come hang out, to have a good time with a large group of hunters, like-minded men and women who are going to have a great time on opening weekend. And it would be a huge disappointment to us that we couldn't deliver that.
Yep.
And I felt like we did the right thing.
I stand by our decision. I feel like we did the right thing. Was it a letdown for the folks that were planning on coming out?
Oh, I'm sure.
It was a letdown for us.
But they did thank us for being honest. They did thank us for, hey,
we were really looking forward to it. It was going to be fun. It was going to be a good deal. But that's one thing out of our control is the weather.
One of the things about us is that, when we started this podcast, we explained to you guys as our listeners and followers and everything that we never claim to be experts. We never claim to be a bigger outfit than we are. We are babies in this, and we're growing with you. We wanted to share experiences with you that are very similar to your experiences. We wanted to share
good, bad, or indifferent.
Good, bad, wins, fails, laughs, cries, all of it, right? Well, this is one of them. And we're sharing this with you to kind of get your input. Do you feel like when you go out and you pay for a hunt and this and that, there's an expectation that goes with it?
There is for me. I know that.
But is there a point where, hey, I understand that getting out there and doing this or whatever, we may not tag out.
Let me ask you this. If you paid for a series of concerts, right? I don't know, Lollapalooza or some big concert event, and then the
headliner backed out.
Yeah, not just the headliner, but we'll say there was 10 bands playing, but 6 of them backed out. Are you still going to that concert, or are you going to pay the same price?
I'm going to be very disappointed. I'm going to feel like I didn't get my money's worth.
Right. And
bottom line.
That's kind of how I looked at this ordeal is they're not going to get what they expect and want. So we might as well just nix it now and
apologize. If there's any followers out there that are watching with us right now, like, are you an outfitter that has had experience like that? Can you provide a comment and maybe under this video and say, hey, this is how I handled that? Now, we thought about a different way of maybe just keeping people entertained. We could have done a clay shoot. We could have done all that. But it's dove season. You want to shoot birds.
And that's not what was advertised
That's
as.
right. That's right. And then you can't just last minute change things like that. Hey, you know, I know we said it was going to be a cast and blast. Oh, in addition to no birds, our stock tank dried up a lot.
Yeah, well, not
It
dried
receded.
up, but
It receded.
we'll say we went from 9 acres to like 4, you know?
Yeah.
And not only that, but the moss growth, vegetation growth around the banks was probably 30 feet out from the bank at that point. So
It was
that
bad.
makes for tough fishing at that point.
Well, it's just not as what we anticipated,
Yeah.
right? So again, Mother Nature, there's probably some things we could learn. So if you have some input and you can teach us some things, we would take your input and try to implement it, maybe make an improvement for next year.
Or if you have been to, you know, different outfitters and you hunt there, not exclusively, but often, what are some of the things that they do that you like and you hope they continue to do? And what are some of the things that they do that you don't? You don't have to name them by name, but what are some things that you wish that they would change? And, you know, that gives us insight
Yeah,
on
because every
things
year
we can do.
So the one thing that we have down is, you know, the whitetail hunts.
I think we do pretty well there.
And we know how to keep you making sure that we know how to increase your success, your chance of success, right? On top of that, we know how to make sure you have an experience that you feel was
We're going to make it fun.
yeah, we're gonna make it fun.
Yeah.
We have
Exciting.
a lot of fun when we're out there hunting with our groups, with our families and people we're taking out, father and sons, you know, buddies. We've had some great experiences with people that have come with us, and it's been great feedback. But this was our first Cast and Blast event. We were looking forward to doing that just because we're the Cast and Blast podcast. You know, this was going to be a chance to talk about doing what we love at the event.
Let's be real. It was the biggest, it was going to be the biggest hunting event in Central Texas. In this area. When I say Central Texas, I guess that's pretty broad, but
no,
I would say within a 1 or 2 hour drive,
we had a lot of people supporting it.
Yeah,
we had a lot of people eyes on it. We had organizations within the hunting and fishing industry coming down and being part of it. We had a lot of kind of feet in the fire, so to speak.
It was a big deal. That's all I'm saying.
It was definitely a big deal to us. It was a big hit to us as a kind of a letdown for us because we were really looking forward to it, probably more so than a lot of the hunters that had paid.
I'm probably going to sound like an asshole saying this, but talking to the county game warden that, you know, that our property that we hunt on
Resides in.
Yep. So talking to him, and the reason I say I'm going to sound like an asshole is because he said that it's the no dove, not having many dove around is happening all over this area. So it wasn't something that we did or didn't do to hold the dove. It's just, it's happening all over our area.
I wonder if, is that happening to you guys in different areas? And did you guys experience a different season this year? You know, let us know in the comments, you know, hey, I'm over here and we had the same thing. And I could tell you this, South Texas had the birds, but I mean, it's kind of typical, you know, they're migrating south, you know, the birds down there.
They got to go through us.
They missed us.
They missed us. They went east, west.
They're definitely a flight pattern I got to go find because they just didn't. But last year we were stacked
everywhere. I mean, you couldn't take a step without flushing a dove or just seeing them flying everywhere.
No, so hey man, that's what happens. It's not just affecting, you know, our fields. It's affecting our lakes here. Our lakes are drying up.
I mean, think about
you can build a condominium right in the middle of our lake out here,
dude. What lake?
Yeah, exactly.
What lake?
Boat ramps are closed. Can't even access. You know, some of the ramps are closed. So.
It's not only the dove it's affecting. Look at the animals. You know, the animals, the vegetation, the animals, the land, everything is being affected by this. Matter of fact,
how is it impacting the economy? You know, the economy does a huge. I mean, dove hunting itself in the hunting industry brings in a lot of economy towards Texas.
Yeah, what in Texas you were saying is second to none to only whitetail, right?
Right. For the hunting seasons, you know. I mean, as far as how much economic impact to the hunting industry, like all these stores, all these outfitters, everybody, you know, it brings in, you know, the travel,
out of state hunters,
hotels, and you know, travel and you know the stores that you hit up on the way. I'm sure Busey's took a big hit.
Oh, Busey's, yeah. beer sales are down.
Beer sales are down, yeah. So no, man, I mean, and you know, there's other aspects to it. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, how many people had scheduled time off right?
Yeah, true.
And then maybe change their plans with the weather,
Yeah,
and all that
be.
stuff. So, I mean, it's a lot more than, just going out there and just let me sit under this tree and knock down my limit, or it can be.
It depends on how you do it, right? I mean, just like out there right now, we could go out and get a limit.
Yeah.
We're talking about not having dove. We could go out and get a limit, but you're probably going to walk miles and miles, and you're walking hedgerows just trying to flush birds out of trees.
And a lot of people find it not worth the trouble. You know what I mean? The harvest of a dove breast is, you're talking about something very small, but I find
Let's be real. Is it really good though?
So I'm gonna.
That's one of the reasons I don't hunt. Here's my philosophy on it.
Yeah.
Is like you said, that's a lot of trouble to go through to get a little breast.
Dove hunting is not cheap, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And I've had dove a few different ways. 3 that I can think of. Obviously, the poppers.
Yep.
They're good. Don't get me wrong. They're good, and we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
I've had them braised in, some type of braised type thing,
Sure.
and then I've had them battered and fried.
Yeah.
And they're okay that way.
Yeah.
But a dove popper, if you have to put that much work into it, and you can wrap a turd in some bacon, cream cheese, and jalapeno and make it good.
I think that was my point. I don't know if it's so much that I love dove poppers so much. If I just like jalapeno poppers, right?
Yeah.
And I'll eat a jalapeno popper with just cream cheese and I'll like it.
I think the lure behind, or the draw behind dove hunting is the social aspect that you talked about. I think that's more of what it is.
My wife's a teacher and she's down to take the day off.
Uh-huh.
And she doesn't miss for sickness, but like dove season opener, she's like,
sign me up, coach.
I'm there, and I just think, how many of you can relate to that growing up in an area where dove season was like your biggest, you looked forward to it more than anything because it was kind of like like you said, the New Year's Day of hunting, right? It's the new season. It's the season opener. And
it's what opens the floodgates to like, hey, it's fall almost.
Sure,
we're gonna get out there, get in the woods,
football season, everything. Yeah. It's all part of it, man. And it's just such a huge, to me, it's such a big part of my life that my friends, my family, everyone knows. It's just like dove season's coming. I know where you're gonna be.
I gotta get out there and do it then, man.
Fishing. All my buddies and in our fishing circle, they all know like, well, there's fishing tournaments going on, but I know you're over there, getting after dove, and I'm doing everything I can to go and access, whether it's public, our place, anything I can do. I traveled down to South Texas this weekend, and
so it's hard the different times of years then that they, I guess, interfere with each other. So
yeah,
dove season for me would get in the way of whitetail preparation.
Right.
Because there's a lot of preparation that's going on during, this time right now. So when you have off time, then are you going to be dove hunting or are you going to be whitetail preparation, getting ready for whitetail season? And then in the spring, turkey season is in the spring. Love turkey hunting. But what else is great in the spring? Fishing. So it's like, man, am I out turkey hunting or am I, out fishing?
And
so
turkey hunting takes a lot of work.
It does, yeah.
Well, it takes a lot of time in the field.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you got to scout, you got to go out, you got to prep.
Unless you got, your private property with, and where the birds are roosted all the time and stuff, you can get it done pretty quick. But if you're hunting private or public land and stuff like that, and you're out there with other people bumping birds and birds aren't gobbling as much and getting smart, it gets pretty tough, but it's fun.
Well, if you can't tell, man, we have dove fever. I know Jimmy's not really as big at.
I want to get into it. Yeah. I'm a social person, so I want to do that social aspect of it.
Well,
maybe I'll just load guns when people are done. Y'all shoot the birds, I'll load guns.
You're gonna shoot, bro. You're gonna shoot, man. It's just
I like to bullshit and drink beer. I'm pretty good at that.
Well, if you're good at that, then you're definitely gonna be sitting next to me because that's what I'm best at. Yeah, man. I don't claim to be the best dove hunter by no means, but I do have some of the best stories.
Yeah, you got some good ones.
So I like to sit around and talk shit, man, and have a good time with the friends and family. And
speaking of stories, y'all had a good story, right, with one of your buddies down there that we're gonna try to we'll try to get him to tell a story because it sounds pretty funny.
Yeah, man, I want to bring him in and talk about his story. Again, dove season comes with a whole new world of experiences. He had an experience that we're going to call in maybe on the next episode and bring him in and
that'd be cool.
And let him tell his story. But man, we had a great time this weekend. We're looking to having more great times coming up. I hope you guys are having some great times. I hope you guys are out there taking somebody hunting. I hope you're out there, friends, family, do as much dove hunting as you can, because it's the one event where you can get a large group together, a small group together, whatever you want. You can go by yourself.
Just don't forget about whitetail preparation.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll go out, have our shotguns.
Yeah.
We do work, and while the birds fly, we'll go down and take some down while we're out there working. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
2 birds, 1 stone, literally.
See what you did there?
Gotcha.
Well, guys, we just wanted to kind of share with you guys how excited we are. We kind of, like I said, we got dove fever, man. We're excited. We are, and it's for so many reasons, and we shared a lot of those with you. But I hope you're out there enjoying your dove season. I hope you're getting ready for whitetail season. I hope you're getting ready for all the different kinds of hunting that starts to fall right behind. You know, we got early teal coming in a couple of weeks. This is just an exciting time for us as outdoorsmen.
It is.
And
getting the pictures and stuff. We were talking to Angel, showing him pictures of some of the deer we're getting earlier, and he's like, man, I got buck fever now. I got buck fever. Were they good deer, Angel?
They were great.
Yeah, man. So
I'm surprised for low fence what you guys are seeing out there.
Yeah, so we are managing a property that is low fence. We got free range bucks, and we're managing the program by keeping the wildlife conservation program going to manage the herd, so to speak, and having a good time doing it,
and learning.
And we're learning along the way, man. So, hey, if you guys have any comments at all in this video, let us know what you're thinking about your hunting season, how things are going with you, how the weather's affecting your guys' hunting. Maybe you're having the best season. The weather hasn't affected. Maybe it's increased your chances. I want to hear about that.
I hope it is. I hope it's just the best thing ever for you right now. Like everything's going perfectly.
Yeah, and you know what? What can we learn from our setbacks? Right. That's what's important. Is like we're new outfitters. You know, we're just starting an operation. We're kind of getting things going. We're new to podcasting. We're new to all this, and we're just kind of growing and learning from our experiences, and we're sharing those with you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying some of these.
Learning every day as we go.
For sure. We always say it. What are we going to learn tomorrow?
I don't teach us something. Tell us something. Teach us.
Yeah.
We're open to it.
So I hope you guys don't think that we're having this podcast just to hear ourselves talk. We're actually opening the conversation to you so we can get your feedback, so we can get your questions. Man, we really appreciate your guys throwing your questions towards us so we can give the game warden. We're going to have them back if you have more questions. Oh, should we mention?
Yeah, we may have two. We may have
another gentleman from a different county.
Yeah, we may have the Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So are you guys looking forward to having 2 game wardens sitting here on each side of the table and maybe kind of...
I think we'll try to make it a little different outline. Maybe something we can do something along the lines of, hey, what's the craziest story? What do you think, but versus what he think? I don't know. We'll try to poke the bear a little bit.
Yeah, try to see if we can get him to loosen up a little bit. But I definitely think that you guys are enjoying having the game wardens. I really hope you're having as much fun as we are, because we learn a lot from it.
Yeah, we do.
And it's kind of cool just talking to them, hearing a different perspective. We have our perspective as the hunter.
I don't know. Yeah, we don't agree with a lot of the rules and the policies and regulations, but hey, we got to adhere to them. But we'll sit here and debate and argue it. Like 1236, hate that shit. Like, unless you're a big landowner, you should not even be happy about that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's getting harder for us to access public land. It's getting, all that stuff. So it's just, it's just not helping us.
Like you said, though, long story short, we're having a great time doing it, and we're liking the learning aspect of it, and we know that we don't know everything, and you out there probably know a hell of a lot more than we do, so whatever we're missing, let us know. Tell us. We're open-minded about it.
Do us a favor. Drop those comments in the video, man. Let us know how your experiences can maybe improve what we're doing, can kind of help us learn from something that we don't.
Or what you would rather see us be doing.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we're going to wrap it up, man. Jimmy, I had a good time, man.
Yeah, man.
It's pretty cool talking about, dove season and our, how we're really getting ready for whitetail and all that stuff. So maybe the next episode, you guys will hear us, what we got going on, what we got accomplished, and all that stuff. We can do a little recap on our whitetail prep.
Yeah, maybe we can take some pictures. How about that? Next time we go out, we'll take some pictures and we'll kind of show you our setups and what we got going on.
Yeah, maybe a little B-roll, a little video, show that in there, and you guys can see that, and maybe we'll talk over it. So, hey, if why not show them some of them monster bucks we have?
We might as well.
So, let me say this: we got some good-looking bucks on our property.
Not just us. I mean, there's some other ones out there.
There's some other young bucks out there. But no, man, there's some good-looking bucks on the property. However, keep in mind, this is low fence.
Free range, low fence.
Yeah, so we're doing our best to, feed them and, give them resources that they like, a habitat that they feel comfortable in and all that stuff. And then we pattern them up and we learn from them, right? Isn't it cool just sitting out there and
sitting watching? That's my favorite thing. That's therapy. That is my therapy.
Man, it's just so much fun. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn so much, but just sitting out in the woods and being like one with them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, well, guys, we're going to wrap this up, man. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Cast&Blast podcast. Make sure if you are watching right now that you're actually sharing this with a friend that you know that might be interested in watching our podcast. Help us grow. Help us get this in front of more people so that we can have some more people come on and give us some feedback. And at the same time, as we grow, we give back. So maybe on the next episode, Jimmy, why don't we do a giveaway?
We've talked about it. Let's
do it. Next episode, we need you guys to tune in because on the next episode, you can have your chance at winning a giveaway at something that we can feel that you could use. We're going to put together.
Maybe a dove cord.
Maybe a dove cord.
Who knows?
Maybe a shotgun rest.
Maybe ooh, that's a good one.
Maybe both.
Maybe all the above.
So we're having fun. Hope you're having fun, man. Thanks for watching the Cast&Blast podcast. Peace.
Yeah, take care.